This is John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, what we're going to do is one of my favorite things to do on this channel is doing a juice-off comparison between two popular juicers that are on the market. This video is actually a requested video from me for a long time. Like people are saying, John, you got to compare the Greenstar Elite or the new Greenstar Pro with the Omega NC800. Both of these machines have their pros and cons, and I couldn't just outright say, hey, buy this one, it's better, or buy that one, it's better. In each of the cases, each one is the best in its own right. Actually, these two machines are my favorites in their category. So this is my favorite horizontal single auger juicer at this time in the whole market, primarily because of the high yield it gets and also the nice larger feed chute that's larger than any other horizontal single auger machine on the market. Over on this side, we got the Greenstar Elite Pro. The Greenstar Elite Pro is my favorite twin gear dual auger juicer on the market at this time. Number one, it has all stainless steel gears and it boasts a 15-year long warranty, longer than any other juicer in the industry. Oh, that being said, the Omega NC800 also has a nice 15-year warranty. So in any case, in this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and compare these two machines side by side, how they're different, how they're the same, and why you might want to get this one over that one, or even this one over that one, because it just always depends, and that's what I love bringing to you guys, the truth about juicers, how they operate, and actually backing up what I say with actually a yield test and a juice off, which we'll be doing at the end of this episode. Before I get into this comparison today, I do want to encourage you guys, if you guys enjoy my videos, if you guys have gained or benefited from the videos that you guys are watching of me comparing the different juicers, explaining the juicers, all the things that I do on this channel, I would encourage you to support me and my work. The only way you can do this is by making your purchase at DiscountJuicers.com. This directly goes to support me so that I can continue to make these educational videos for you guys on the juicers as well as many other topics on YouTube. So I want to thank you guys in advance for those of you guys that have supported me in the past, and thank you guys also for those of you guys who will support me in the future. It's much appreciated. If you buy your juicer from any other place, I'm not going to get the credit, and I may not be able to make these videos in the future. Also, please keep in mind that I do have a price match policy at Discount Juicers. We will match any legitimate price from any other authorized retailer of the same exact juicer, provided they have it in stock. So yeah, give us an opportunity to gain your business, and just making these videos is one of the ways we try to do just that. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this comparison. I think first we're going to go ahead and talk about the Omega NC800. This is a single auger horizontal juicer. What that means, that has an auger in there that basically runs horizontally, and it runs at a low speed. It runs at 80 revolutions per minute. And how this machine works, let's go ahead and take this apart for you guys. How this works is actually you're going to go ahead and put produce down this feed chute, and it's going to basically run into this little auger right here. This auger is spinning around, and as the auger is spinning around, the produce is going to get chunked off a little bit at a time. The produce is going to run its way down the auger and get kind of crushed up and squeezed and ground up. And by the time the produce comes to the end, it's going to be juicy. So the juice is going to come out the stainless steel screen here, and the pulp will get ejected out the front. Upon initial crush on something especially like oranges or watermelon, the juice will be released and go through this stage 1 screen, and at the final stage, this is the stage 2 screen where most of the juice will come out. So that's how this machine works. I mean, this machine, one of the things that I like about it is that it's the easiest to clean juicer in the world that I've found to this date. It takes me about a minute and a half to clean, so that's one of the big pros of this machine here. Now these pieces is made out of the GE Ultim plastic, 8 times harder plastic than augers normally produced or made previously on horizontal auger machines. And this screen is also made out of a plastic with a stainless steel ribbing in the grinding portion and a stainless steel secondary screen there. The other parts of this machine are just simply the pusher, which you will need to use to push the produce items into the machine, as well as an end cap here that goes onto the end, and then also we have an outlet adjusting knob that has a control from 0 to 5 to put back pressure on the produce to ensure you're going to get the highest yield. And of course, the only final piece on the NC800 is this the drum or the main body here. and it has a nice wide feed chute here, really simple and easy to clean. Usually I just blast the hot water through it. All the pulp and whatnot is dislodged when cleaning. So to assemble this machine, super simple, super easy. Let me go ahead and show you guys how. Take the main drum unit, put it on. You're going to slide this from open to closed over here. Then we're going to go ahead and take the auger and just shove that right in there. Then we're going to take the screen. This part of the screen is always facing down, so you're just going to put that facing down, slides right in. Very simple, very easy. And then finally we're going to go ahead and take the outlet knob and put that on there. And that just slides into place, and make sure we have our 0 to 5 control outlet adjusting knob at the end, set all the way to 5. Now this machine, I like it because it's a slow RPM juicer, and the horizontal single auger machines are literally the best juicer in my opinion. And based on my tests for juicing things like wheatgrass, for juicing things like sprouts and microgreens. Also things like leafy greens tend to do very well, especially if you're juicing them alone in this machine. After that, this machine is horrible at juicing fruits. It really doesn't like the soft texture of fruits when juicing them alone, but if you're juicing fruits with vegetables and leafy greens, it's going to work great. What you do want to remember on any juicer that you buy is you want to rotate the produce items you're putting through. So if you're juicing kale and apples and carrots, you don't want to put like all the apples through, then all the kale through, and then all the carrots through. You want to put a little bit of apple, follow that with a little bit of kale, follow that with the carrot. And then you're going to repeat apple, kale, carrot, apple, kale, carrot, apple, kale, carrot, apple, kale, carrot. All right, anyways, you guys will repeat that process until you're out of the produce. And in this way, the juicer is going to work the best for you without clogging or jamming minimally. So this machine doesn't juice fruits the best alone, depending on the fruit. But with other things, does it great, and on the hard vegetables, it does a good, decent job on the hard vegetables. I mean, they got the highest yield on hard vegetables, but it absolutely juices them without any issues or problems. Especially some of the harder root vegetables like ginger, for example, that could really kind of mess up some vertical slow juicers. This machine will literally pile through it. Let's see, what else do I need to say about this? This was rated at 150 watts. Made in Korea, good quality machine, 15-year long warranty. I think the only other thing I want to say is that actually it costs less than the Greenstar Elite or Greenstar Pro machine. And so price is always one consideration. But if you think about it, one of these juicers, these are not disposable juicers, guys. Not like the ones you'd go down to your local department store and buy, for really inexpensive. That has a short 30-day, 90-day, or even 1-year warranty. These guys are going to be hanging out in your house for the next 15 years. That's a long time. And as such, I want you guys to, make the best choice. I mean, spending a couple $100s now more at the end of 15 years is not really going to be a lot of money for the value you're going to get out of the juicer, especially if you're going to get more yield. So I really want you guys to, pay attention to my videos, watch them, watch as many as you can before making your purchase so that you guys could make the best and most informed purchase based on the criteria that's important to you. And that's what I simply try to share in my videos without any manufacturer's fluff. I kind of share, hey, this is the deal, this is the pros, this is the cons, and you guys can choose what you want to do. Oh, I do also need to mention that the Omega NC800 is called the Nutrition Center. That's the NC, Nutrition Center, if that's what it stands for. And this also comes with what's called a blank plate. And this blank plate allows you to do other things in your Omega juicer, such as grind coffee beans into ground up coffee, make nut butters, make frozen fruit sorbets, grind and chop herbs and spices, process cabbage into like a ground up cabbage to make sauerkrauts, or just grind up your food if you don't want to chew your food as much. Lots of flexibility with the Omega NC800, and it is backed up by Omega, probably one of the longest standing juicer companies in the United States of America. Alright, next let's go ahead and focus our attention to the Greenstar Pro. This machine just released 2017, and this is the commercial version of the Greenstar Elite. This one has commercial certification and is for use in juice bars, restaurants, and cafes. Meanwhile, the Omega NC800 is not certified for commercial use. And I always encourage you guys, if you are using a juicer for commercial use, get one that is commercially certified. Many health departments require this, and furthermore, many household juicers that you might use in a commercial environment, their motors are not built strong enough or durable enough to last, using it day in, day out. So you're probably going to burn out that motor, and you're going to have to keep buying these household machines instead of just buying one heavy-duty machine like the Greenstar Pro here. This Greenstar Pro has updated and improved wiring over the Greenstar Elite model, as well as a built-in tamper holder, 100% stainless steel gears, and yeah, I mean, other than that, it's pretty similar. Let's go ahead and dig in and show you guys how this machine works. So this works on a twin gear process. Let me go ahead and take this apart for you guys. And how this works is basically there's two gears inside here, unlike in this one there's one gear, or one auger. There's two gears, and check these gears out. These are 100% stainless steel gears. I like them a lot. How this machine works is basically the stainless steel gears are running into each other like that, and as you're juicing, you're putting produce into the gears really grind up, and actually grind up to a pretty fine consistency, the produce you're putting in there, and as it grinds it up, the juice is being extracted. So the first step of this is basically the grinding stage, then there's a mixing stage, and then finally a pressing stage. So this is a 3-stage, whereas this one just kind of grinds and juices. And 100% stainless steel gear, so your produce will not come into contact with any plastic on these gears. On the previous model, the Elite model, the second half of the gears is actually all plastic. In addition, they have a pocket recess on the teeth here, and also these cutting points, so any kind of celery will get demolished, or any kind of leafy greens will get demolished, and that will not clog your juicer up like some other machines on the market. And that's how these work. So the main thing with this is once you put the produce in, you're going to have a smaller feed chute. This is a 1.5 by 1.5 inch. I believe on this machine it's like 1.5 by maybe 2 inches. So the feed chute is a little bit larger on the NC800. And this is also fairly easy to put together. So let's go ahead and show you guys. Got this main feed chute housing that just goes right on. The main thing when assembling any twin gear juicer is there's these dots on the gears. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera there. But this gear has 2, this gear has 1. You always want to make sure they make a little triangle. So those are properly lined up. If you guys can see that on the camera. And then we're going to go ahead and just stick these guys into the machine there. They lock into place. And then we got the juicing screen. So I'm going to compare the juicing screen here for you guys real quick. So here's the juicing screen. Which one of these screens has more screen area, right? Yeah, it's easy to see. The Greenstar Pro has a lot more screen area. So what this means is that there's more opportunity for the juice to come out of the screen, and even if the screen does get clogged up a little bit, there's still a lot more holes that are not going to be plugged where the juice can come out. In the Omega NC800, there's definitely much less screen area. So the screen area could be a pro because it's going to allow you probably to get a higher yield, but it could also be a con because the screen area is the hardest part to clean on any juicer, especially when you're done juicing something like carrots. The screen can get clogged with all the little pulp particles and bits. So let's see here. So to install this on the Greenstar Pro, just put that on, and then we're going to go ahead and take this final outlet body casing and put that on. But before I do, I want to show you guys this particular unit right here. So snap that on. So this is actually called the outlet adjusting knob on the Greenstar Pro. It's a little bit advanced, right? It actually has a spring. So basically this puts spring tension on the produce and does not let the produce out until it's fully dry and it's fully wrung out. And then and only then will it push this spring tension back and let the pulp come out. Meanwhile, over on the Omega NC800, they don't have any kind of spring tension. They just basically have this little dial thing that kind of puts a little bit more pressure on the pulp coming out, but it by no means is kind of interactive like this unit is. So at some point when the pressure is built up, it's just going to let the pulp out. On this one, it really has to get built up to a much stronger level. And I always encourage you guys to put this in and then crank it all the way down if you're juicing things like hard vegetables and leafy greens. If you're juicing something like fruits, you may need to back it off actually halfway and leave a little space in there. They do have a fruit attachment knob, which is basically the same as this one, but it has a different color tip. And basically the difference with that one and this one, it has a softer spring tension. I feel that that's not super necessary. I think it's much better to just put this in and tighten it halfway, which is going to do something similar to what the fruit attachment knob does, so that you guys don't have to buy the fruit attachment. Nonetheless, this machine is not the machine you want to buy if you want to juice 100% straight fruits anyways. Same with this machine. Generally, machines that juice the leafy greens and hard vegetables really well generally don't tend to juice the fruits really well when you want to juice them alone and by themselves. Of course, some things like watermelon or citrus will do great in here, but other things like apples or pineapples and pears, if juiced only by themselves, are going to back up and clog up on you and may not work the best. That can be easily rectified by juicing it with some vegetables, right? Juice pineapple and carrots, and it's an amazing combination. I actually had that as my right before bedtime juice last night, and just put a little bit of pineapple in, a little bit of carrot, a little pineapple, a little carrot, and rotate them. Then the pineapples are going to go through the juicer amazingly because of the hard fibrous carrot pulp will help push out that soft, mushy pineapple pulp. All right, so yeah, fruits will not juice straight alone easily. Of course, you can mix them with some more hard, firm vegetables. As to the wheatgrass, leafy greens, and sprouts and microgreens, this juicer will definitely do those things. It'll juice it. It'll juice them to a really high extraction rate. The challenge is when juicing these things alone in the Greenstar Elite, this machine, due to the design, tends to make a little bit more foam. So it may make a lot of foam when juicing those greens straight, and that's why for straight greens and wheatgrass and sprouts, I kind of like the Omega NC800. Flipping on over to like juicing something like root vegetables and hard vegetables, carrots and beets and ginger, whatnot, this machine is going to tear it up. It's going to get the highest yield on any juicer that I've tested, actually, and it's simply amazing. This machine simply cannot compete with the yield that this guy is going to get on the hard vegetables. Now, if you're juicing hard vegetables and leafy greens, guess what? This machine is still going to tear it up because now you're juicing the hard vegetables with the leafy greens, and the leafy greens you feed hard vegetable, leafy green, hard vegetable, leafy green. It's really going to get a high yield, also the highest nutritional quality as well. Now, another thing I like about the twin gears, besides there being all stainless steel instead of plastic on the NC800, is that inside the twin gears they have far infrared technology and magnetic technology that is said to help extract more and pull more nutrients out of the juice. Some of the testing I've seen testing the Greenstar Elite juice made or other twin gear juicers with this technology compared to other machines without this technology show me that the machine with this technology has higher levels of nutrients in the juice. This can be especially important if you want to give yourself every possible advantage if you're working on getting rid of a disease or in assisting your body in getting rid of disease or healing disease. So for people that are sick and on any kind of therapy program where they have to juice a lot, I would recommend probably the Greenstar Elite because that will give you the extra edge. Not only will it give you the extra edge on the most yield, so you're going to save money on your produce costs, but it'll also give you the little extra edge with nutrition. That being said, if you really have to have the best nutrition, this is the machine you get. And people always say, John, well, what if I get this? Am I getting the worst nutrition? No. A high-speed juicer will give you the worst nutrition. This is still going to get you a high level of nutrition. How much better than this? I don't know. I haven't seen the data or the testing on that. But I will say that even this machine with its low RPM will get a high level of nutrition. But this one just kind of edges it out, by a little bit. So yeah, that's my opinions on that. Let's see here. Oh, the other things about this machine, as you'll learn, is you have to feed each produce item in the machine, and it can take some time unless it's something like leafy greens that literally gets ripped out of your hand and sucked in the machine. Both these machines will take a bit longer to juice than other machines on the market, such as the vertical single auger machines, which are actually my favorite style of machine that I like to use on a daily basis because they are so much more quick to use and clean up as a total overall time. Let's see, what else do I need to say about the Greenstar Elite here? Oh, I wanted to do a sound test for you guys, so we're going to go ahead and first turn on the NC800 so you guys could listen to what it sounds like. So this machine runs at 80 RPMs. It's pretty quiet. I like that a lot. Nice motor hum. Let's go ahead and turn on the Greenstar Pro. I mean, these to me have a pretty much similar sound. I kind of like the deep, rich rumble of the Greenstar Pro. It kind of sounds like a more durable and tough juicer. This does have a built-in fan to help keep the motor cool. As I mentioned before, this is a commercial model. And I believe, the Greenstar Elite will definitely hold its resale value if that's something that's important to you. Or the Greenstar Pro is going to hold its resale value much better than the Omega NC800 because it is a lot different, and it has those 100% stainless steel gears. The Greenstar Pro also includes some attachments that come with it, including a screen scraping tool that's going to make cleaning your screen a lot easier. It also comes with a blank plate so that you could make mochi or breadsticks, also things you could process nuts into nut butters, grind up coffee beans into ground up coffee to make coffee, grind up herbs and spices, also make frozen fruit sorbets, nut butters, grind up cabbage to make your own sauerkrauts. So that has similar functionality to the NC800. I would say the functionality with the grinding attachments and whatnot on the Greenstar Elite a little bit better than on the Omega NC800. I mean, I think with that, what I want to do next is actually want to get into the actual juice off comparison of this episode. So now I'm ready to get this juice off going. The first step, of course, is always to weigh in the produce. Super critical, super important to make sure we got a fair fight between these two machines. Today we'll be juicing some carrots, cucumber, and some fresh picked leafy greens out of my garden. So let me go ahead and give you guys a close-up on the scales to make sure we have a fair fight. Now we're going to go ahead and do the weigh-in for you guys over on the Omega NC800 side on the scale. Looks like we got a total of 1 pound, 15.6 ounces. And over on the Greenstar Pro side, once again, 1 pound, 15.6 ounces. So let's see. Looks like we got an even fight. A bunch of carrots, a couple cucumbers, and even amounts of leafy greens from my garden. So now that you guys saw we got an even fight, let's go ahead and move these scales out of the way, move this produce out of the way so we can get juicing here. And today I think I'll be juicing first in the Greenstar Elite machine. And of course the other thing that's important to a lot of you guys is time. So we're going to go ahead and use a little stopwatch app to show you guys how long it takes to juice in each one of these machines, because I know that's important to you guys. Time savings is just one of the many factors that you should consider when buying a juicer. Another factor is yield, but that may not be the most important factor to you, right? Cleaning time, that's a very important factor to me. This one takes me about a minute and a half to clean. This one will probably take me, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes to clean, right? A little bit more intricate. You guys saw all the parts there is to clean that I showed you guys a little bit earlier. Not too hard, but there's just more parts to clean. Let's see, other factors are, is it commercial use? Is the motor heavy duty? Well, I'd say the motor on this machine a little bit more heavy duty than this machine. It definitely pulls more wattage, but both these machines have a full 15-year warranty. Another thing you guys should consider. Also, you should consider greatly on how well it juices the produce you want to juice the most, right? You want to get a juicer that's going to juice the produce you're going to juice the most, the best, because that's what, if you're never going to be juicing straight fruits, right? Then you don't want to get a juicer that juices straight fruits because you don't really care. You're never going to use that. And both these machines, don't juice straight fruits the best. So if you're one of those people that are like, I want to do low sugar, John, and that's a whole nother topic. I hope to have a video on really soon about fruit sugar and how it's the best sugar in the world and shouldn't necessarily be avoided. One of these machines are going to be for you. Any case, yeah, lots of different factors. Oh, price, another consideration, warranty, stability of the company. Tribus has been around for over 25 years in business here in the United States of America. They're not going to go anywhere. Omega has probably been around a tad bit longer than that, and they're not going to go anywhere either. So, I mean, these are the two top-rated machines, and both these machines made in South Korea. Probably one of the best places that makes the juicers to this day and age. Unfortunately, America is actually behind in juicing technology, and even Japan not up on the juicing technology, so the best juicers come out of the South Korea, and those are the machines that I tend to favor and use in my very kitchen. In any case, let's go ahead and start this juice off. We're going to start first with the Greenstar Elite, so you guys can see how long it takes to juice and how things are juiced in each machine. Let's go ahead and hit this start button, and let's get juicing. Turn this machine on. I always encourage you guys to take the softest produce item first, and I really like on the Greenstar Pro, you can just literally take the leafy green and suck it in there. Look at that. Sucks right in. I didn't have to push it. So, I mean, if you're juicing a lot of leafy greens, you don't want to do any pushing. That might be a good thing to do. Next, we're going to go ahead and follow that by a carrot. Always push the carrot in with the small side first. And it does take some downward force. I'm using one finger to do that. Now, that was a mild diameter or a thin diameter carrot. Let's go ahead and put one a little bit thicker in here. As you guys can see, we're getting a few drips out of the front here, and that's totally normal. You can see the little screw there kind of extend. Some of the pulp starting to come out. Once we got that carrot in, and now we're going to go ahead and put a cucumber. Once again, one finger going down. You know, for people with arthritis and whatnot, have weak wrists and all this stuff, maybe not a lot of arm strength, this may not be the juicer for you, right? Once again, we're going to put that leafy green in, and look at that, sucks it right up. Follow that with another carrot here. Now, it can help if you're like, you know, if you don't have a lot of strength in your arms to get leverage, so you want to stand up on something, like a little stool, and have this on your countertop so you could be above it. That'll help you push things into it a little bit easier. Once again, this is no problem for me or for an average size person. That being said, I wouldn't want to sit here and juice 10 pounds of carrots straight in this machine, because, you know, that might not be so much fun there. Alright, let's continue to juice another carrot. This is going pretty fast, you know, it doesn't take a lot of time to juice, and juicing is one of the most beneficial things you can do with your time, right? This increases the amount of fruits and vegetables that you're getting into you, which are the most beneficial foods on the planet, and this allows you to concentrate them in a little small form, right? I mean, this is literally 2 pounds of produce we're juicing today. That'll literally make 2 cups of juice, which is actually not much at all to get into you, so you can have the benefits of all this amazing produce. Alright, once again on the leafy greens, you know, you want to put the leafy end in first, like kind of wrap that up and suck it in, and it'll just literally suck that whole thing right in. Once again, we're going to go ahead and follow that with the carrot here. Push that right in. We're out of cucumbers already. Super simple, super easy. Next, we're going to go ahead and take another leafy green. Once again, I like to twirl it up a little bit and get it so we can just suck that bottom leaf in. If you feed it the other end in, the stem end in, it doesn't tend to suck in as well. Let's see, nice large carrot. This is going to probably take the most pressing power. I'll use the flat palm technique. Push it right in. And you want to, you know, to make pressing easier, cut your carrots lengthwise. You know, if you have a fat diameter carrot, it's going to be harder to put in than if you have it, you know, cut lengthwise. Once again, suck that leafy green in. I love that on the Greenstar lead. Finally, the last carrot going right in to the Greenstar lead. Let's see, the one finger press. Pressing it right in there. And this machine does come with 2 pushers, a wooden and a plastic. I do like to use the wooden, and keep in mind this will grind against the gears there. Make sure it's all in there. But, you know, it may grind off a little wood, but this is a cutting grade wood. So yeah, it's not really going to damage it, and it may wear off a little bit, but don't press this too hard in there. Alright, as you guys can see, we're done with the produce there, and we're all done juicing in the Greenstar lead. It's pretty much done dripping, and we got all our pulp here. We're going to go ahead and turn this machine off and check out our time. Looks like we got 3.5 minutes approximately. So we're going to go ahead and stop, hit the reset, and then now we're going to go ahead and focus our attention over on the Omega NC800. Yeah. 3.5 minutes of juice, about 2 pounds of produce, and you know, that's about an average time, I would say. Next, let's go ahead and hit start on this and start the NC800. Once again, always encourage you guys to start with like something like leafy greens, and on leafy greens we're going to feed it the same way we did on the twin gear. Let's see what happens. Alright, kind of sucks it in too if you feed it in right. Make sure this is on the 5. Next, we're going to go ahead and put that carrot in there. On the carrot, depending on the diameter of the carrot, it might auto feed a little bit, but you also might need to, you know, use a little bit of downward force on the pusher. The downward force required on the NC800 is going to be a lot less than on the Greenstar Pro there. Took that all right in. Let's go ahead and follow with a cucumber there, right in. Once again, you need a little bit of force on here, not a lot, and I don't want you guys to press things too quickly in any juicer, right? Feed it always a nice, moderate pace. Don't try to like, I gotta get in there as fast as I can because I'm late, I gotta go to work. Don't try to, if you're cramming things in too fast, that's when the machine's gonna back up, jam, may break on you, may give you some problems, and also you're gonna basically be trading in the yield. If produce is running through the machine too quickly, you're not gonna get the highest extraction rate. Alright, let's go ahead and put another leafy green, twirl it up, see if we get it to suck in there. Alright, yeah, sucks in pretty good. Uh-oh, man. We got auger wrap this time. It sucked in so well that that leafy green is literally sitting and spinning inside because it's sucked up around the gear. Let's see if we can get that unsucked by maybe using a carrot or something like that. Alright, I think that kind of unstuck it, man. But yeah, auger wrap. That's something that could happen on a horizontal auger machine, but will never happen on a twin gear because the twin gear will literally cut it all up. Alright, let's see. Let's do another leafy green here. Let's do a hard end down. That sucks it into, once again, we got some of that auger out there. Let's go ahead and put a cucumber in there. Once again, as you guys can see, we're varying the different textures that we're putting into the machine. And I want you guys also to compare and look at the pulp difference, right? We'll look at that more in the end, but it's just very interesting to me, like the color of the pulp difference, like which one is really getting ground up more and more nutrients are being extracted from. And that's one of the values of the Greenstar Pro there. All right, let's go ahead and follow that with a carrot. Once again, small end of the carrot down, always on every slow juicer. Pushing that right in there. See, let's another leafy green here. That gets sucked in. I'll try to feed this in a little bit differently, so like I'll push and pull, so maybe I don't get that auger wrap as much. And now we're going to go ahead and follow that with a carrot here. Every juicer just works a little bit differently, and I would encourage you guys to watch my other videos where I actually have in-depth videos, not comparisons, but when I maybe just use the Omega NC800, you know, I'll share with you guys a lot of my tips on how to get the most out of the juicer. Alright, next let's go ahead and put in the last leafy green in there. Sucks it right in. We're going to follow that with a cucumber. We got the auger wrap. I can see the leafy green spin around. Alright, it's got sucked in finally. Put in that cucumber, and then we're going to go ahead and follow that cucumber with one of the carrots here. And just got a few more carrots of juice in the Omega NC800. Now I do encourage you guys, you know, if you're juicing carrots, always try to find those deep, rich, dark purple carrots, right? They're the most nutritious carrots in the whole wide world, and that's what I try to buy the most. Otherwise, if you're looking for carrots, you know, I encourage you guys to buy organic carrots. The cheapest place to do that is at actually Costco. They usually have carrots, depending on where you live in the nation, about 50 cents a pound, plus or minus. You know, it might be a little bit less expensive, maybe 10 cents, 20 cents more, depending on where you live. Alright, got the second to last carrot in there. Look at this. This is very interesting how this works, right? Anyways, we'll show you guys this, but I'm really noticing a big difference in how the pulp looks. It's actually quite telling. Alright, last carrot going into the Omega NC800. Always after putting the last produce item in any machine, but especially an auger machine, you want to let it run a little bit longer before you turn it off, because juice is still coming out, juice is still dripping. How you're going to know if you're completely done is if the pulp stops moving. So right now you can see ever so slowly the pulp is still kind of moving out of the machine. That means there's still produce being juiced actively, and it's kind of working its way down the auger, and then finally gets pushed out. You know, I mean, you could probably sit here for a minute or two, but at some point you just got to cut it. Like, alright, the pulp has pretty much stopped moving, and then we could go ahead and cut this machine off. Alright, let's go ahead and cut it off here. What we got on the time? Wow, are you kidding me? That took me 5 minutes to juice in the NC800, and it took like 3.5 minutes in the Greenstar Elite. That's quite surprising. I think mainly just because, I don't know, man, the Greenstar Elite, I mean, mainly because of the twin gears. As I push produce in, it just literally sucked it up, ground it up much quicker. It also runs at 110 RPMs, whereas this runs at 80. That's actually quite impressive, right? Actually, this one took less time. I don't know what was going on with that. Anyways, next I want to show you guys this pulp. You know, this pulp is really telling, right? So you guys saw me feed the produce in. I tried to do the best I could with rotation of feeding in, you know, greens, a cucumber, carrots, greens, cucumbers, carrots. And check this out, right? Look at the pulp, right? You guys could clearly see the pulp on the NC800. It's nice and orange bright, right? And it's not quite as dark. Well, this is for a few reasons. Number one, we just juiced in it, so it hasn't been sitting out oxidizing. But the other thing you'll notice is that it's not really well mixed. It's like we see all carrot pulp on the top, but over on the Pro side, it looks like the greens were literally mixed up with the carrots, like confetti. So it looks like to me that, you know, the Greenstar Elite did a much better job of mixing and pressing out the nutrients of the produce that we put in. Next, let's go ahead and, so that's pretty well mixed, but then over on this side, we can look and we can see like little plugs of the leafy green. So this is one of the leafy greens that just got chewed up. And if we try to pull this apart, you know, it's pretty ground up, breaks apart pretty good. But we can see like these little, you know, little strings that are still like pretty long. But on the Greenstar Elite side, we can't see any long strings. due to the grinding extraction. You know, it's a lot better at grinding. Next, let's go ahead and pick up some of this pulp. So we're going to go ahead and pick up some of this pulp on the NC800 side. Oh, there's a whole bunch of greens that just came out. And squeeze. So let's see, squeezing out some drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, they're coming now. You know, pulp was a little bit wet. Did a fairly good job though. And now we're going to go ahead and pick up a handful of pulp on the Greenstar Pro side. Excuse me. Squeeze that. Also, you know, still some juice in the pulp there as well. All right, next let's go ahead and take a look at the yields, and we're going to go ahead and strain the yields to make sure we have an even comparison. All right, so let's check out our yields. So we got our measuring cups, exact same measuring cups, so we can make sure and see which juicer made the most juice. Then finally we also got 2 identical sieves to strain the pulp out, because if there's extra pulp in one juicer and not the other, that may artificially inflate the yield for you guys. Now, do you guys want to drink the pulp as it comes out of the juicer or not? That's up to you. You know, there's definitely benefits to having some of the pulp in there, and the pulp, let me remind you, is the insoluble fiber, right? All the soluble fiber in the produce you juiced went into the juice because it's soluble, it dissolves in water. So even in carrots, there's approximately 48% soluble fiber. So when you're juicing carrots, you're getting about roughly half the fiber that's in the carrots, provided you got a good efficient juicer here. So always on every juicer, I like to tip it up, you know, up and back, the 2 different directions. Especially in the NC800, we'll definitely get some drips there. All right, so let's go ahead and pull out the juice on the Omega NC800. I do want to say that on the NC800, you get 2 plastic collection cups, as well as a sieve to sieve out some of the pulp if you don't want it. On the Greenstar Pro, you have to come up with your own collection cup to catch your pulp. I used a bowl today, and actually this is the handy dandy glass collection cup that comes with the Greenstar Pro. I personally like to catch all my juices in glass instead of plastic. So we're just going to go ahead and pour this off here. All right, that was fairly successful. Didn't lose too much juice anywheres. And let's go ahead and pour this off the Greenstar Pro here. Alright, as I'm seeing, both juicers made a bunch of pulp in the juice. Definitely not too much. Wow, this is a fairly impressive yield test here. Alright, let's go ahead and shake these down. Alright, man, looking at this, I think the Greenstar Elite actually put a little bit more pulp in the juice than the Omega NC800. I mean, the NC800, it is my favorite horizontal single auger juicer for a reason. I mean, it does the best job. Alright, now I want to go ahead and weigh the pulp that was actually created in each machine. So we're going to go ahead and get these scales out here real quick, just for fun. Alright, so on the Greenstar Elite, just go ahead and put the pulp on there, 0.5 ounces. And on the NC800, wow, oh, okay, 0.5 ounces. So the same amount of pulp on each, that each juicer created. Now I get to clean my scales off. Anyways, next, what's most important is let's go ahead and check out the yield that each juicer created. So now the moment you guys have been waiting for, the yield test, and see how much each juicer made. So it looks like over on the Omega NC800 side, if we zoom in there, looks like we got approximately 2 cups of juice. Over on the Greenstar Pro side, looks like we got about 2¼ cups of juice. So yeah, just looking at them side by side, you could clearly see the Greenstar Pro made more juice. So I definitely can't say that I'm too surprised that the Greenstar Elite definitely made more juice in this juice off comparison. I mean, after all, it is a more expensive machine, and in general does you know, make more juice on hard vegetables and leafy greens, or especially when they're juiced together. Over on the Omega NC800 side, I'm actually quite impressed that it actually made as much juice as it did, right? I mean, this is one of the latest and greatest and best horizontal single juicers on the market at this time. And, you know, I'm impressed that actually with what we juiced today, which is mostly carrots, some cucumber, and some leafy greens, it made like 2 cups of juice. So in general, I want to give you guys this equation or formula. 1 pound of produce in general, and it depends on the produce, will make 1 cup of juice. And if your juicer is not as efficient, it's going to make less. And if your juicer is right up to par, it's going to make that. And maybe if it's better than par, it's going to make a little bit more, as in the case of the Greenstar Pro, made an extra 1/4 cup of juice. So over a lifetime of owning a juicer is an extra 1/4 cup each time you juice 2 pounds worth it for you. I mean, over time that will add up, and you will basically make your money back from buying a more expensive machine. You know, that being said, there's other factors to consider, like time, right? It's going to take me a lot shorter time to clean the NC800 than the Greenstar Pro. And for me personally, you know, hey, I'm getting a little bit like less juice, but it's easier to clean, and that means I'm going to be using it more. That's the one I would get personally, right? But if you don't mind cleaning and stuff, and you don't have a lot of stuff to do in your life, and you want more yield, and you want to make your produce stretch, then go with the Greenstar Pro. Another thing I want to say is, how does the juice taste? Super critical. As much as the yield was less, what if there's actually more nutrition, which I believe there to be, in the Greenstar Pro juice, right? Or the Greenstar Pro juice tastes better because some of the different flavor compounds in juice are some of the nutrients in the juice. So we're going to go ahead and do a taste test first here. First, we're going to go ahead and taste the Greenstar Pro juice, just a little bit here. And I didn't really look at the color difference, but the colors pretty much look similar on both machines. That's a good juice. Let's go ahead and try this. Let me try this one again. I mean, I could faintly notice a small taste difference. It's like barely negligible or noticeable. All right, one more time on this guy. Yeah, I could definitely say for sure what's going on now after doing it twice. All right. So if taste is most important to you, one of the most critical factors, right, which is linked to nutrition based on my observations and research, you want to go with the Greenstar Pro. The juice tasted sweeter to me than the same exact produce items juiced in the Omega NC800. Of course, the yield was also more as well. So, I mean, there's so many different factors to consider when purchasing a juicer, but now you know some of the facts and pros and cons and differences and similarities between these two machines, so you guys could make a better choice. I guess at the end of every juice, I have to declare a winner, and this is really difficult for me, man. Taking all factors in consideration, besides just the yield, man, I'm going to have to give it to the Greenstar Pro. I mean, although this machine costs more, it also has the longest warranty in the juicer industry, 15 years, well, as does the Omega NC800, but it made more juice by a 1/4 cup, you know, when juicing 2 pounds. So if you're juicing 4 pounds, you're probably going to get an extra 1/2 cup, and if you're juicing 8 pounds of produce, you're going to get a whole extra cup, which gets to be significant, and the cost savings over time is easily going to pay for the extra money you're paying for this machine. Not to mention that if your juice tastes better, you're more likely to drink it. And this juice, after taste testing it twice like I did, definitely tastes better than the juice made over on that side. That being said, right, if you don't got a lot of money, get the Omega NC800. Although it didn't yield the most, although the juice didn't taste as good, it still made quite a good yield. And you know, I mean, it's a contender. I mean, this is my favorite horizontal single auger machine on the market at this time due to the larger feed chute, and it's just a lot easier to clean. I mean, in the end, you can't go wrong with either of these machines. These are the best of the best people, and if you guys are watching other videos where people are trying to promote other juicers, please be wary. I mean, these are the best two in the categories that I found. As you guys could see, they did a great job on what I juiced today. And once again, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would encourage you to support me in my work by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. That allows me to directly continue to buy produce to make these juice-off comparisons, to teach you guys the truth about juicers. And once again, you know, there's a best juicer out there, but the best one for you may be not the same best one for someone else. So be sure to stay tuned and watch all my videos so you guys can learn which one will meet your specific needs, because we all have different needs in life. And yeah, I mean, I think the final thing I'd like to say is that, I really like the Greenstar Pro just because it extracts the highest yield. And I know many of you guys that are watching this video might have some health condition, whether that's you're overweight or have diabetes or have cancer or have something, right? I want to encourage you guys to eat more fruits and vegetables in your diet, and the juicers allow you to concentrate the volume of fruits and vegetables you guys could eat. For people that are considering what's called the Gerson therapy, where people, uncurables with cancer and other diseases, go to this Gerson therapy program, right? They recommend a slow juicer. And my favorite juicer for that therapy program is the Greenstar Pro, because it gets the highest level of extraction and the most nutrition out of the produce. And especially when you're trying to heal or work with a disease, you want to give yourself every possible advantage. And every possible advantage to me includes getting even a little bit, 10%, 20% more nutrition by juicing the same things. Oh, and I also got to say that, the Greenstar Pro took less time than the NC800, which is totally amazing to me. So yeah, with that, I'm going to close out this video. But I want to say that if you guys enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Also be sure to leave your comments down below. Be sure to share this video with somebody else that's looking for a good high quality juicer so they can learn the truth about these two machines. Also be sure to check my past episodes. I have over 500 videos on this channel dedicated to teach you guys the differences about the different juicers, comparing them, contrasting them, and share with you guys my opinions on them. And be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on any of my new and upcoming episodes. I'm coming out about every 5 to 7 days. You never know what juicers, blenders, or even vacuum blenders I'll be testing, comparing, and letting you guys know my opinions and my review on it. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.